an enthusiastic crowd today. And the topic is quite interesting, rethinking the education system in Mauritius. First, I'm happy and a little bit sad. Happy that Faisal and the Think Mauritius have come up with a paper. But it's a matter of concerns also that he has raised in the paper. I guess most of you must have read the executive summary in the document, and Faisal is going to talk about it in more in depth. Most of the time you say education is a debt, from the present to the future. And I think today is a day when we'll have time to voice out our opinion and share some of the concerns and make some constructive criticism. We are not here to dig the past, but to see the future. And I think that education is a pillar for economic and social progress. And this is where we are heading for. Without much taking much of your time, actually, I would like to welcome Mr. Pitch Venkateswamy, who is the founder member of Think Mauritius, and he will tell us more about the organization structure and what has been done till now, and the whole purpose of the Think Tech organization.
Friends, it is my pleasure on behalf of Think Mauritius to welcome you to this workshop on education. It is the first time that Think Mauritius is organizing a workshop of this type, and we are happy that so many of you have responded to the invitation. Before I talk about the workshop itself, I would like to say a few words on Think Mauritius, as I believe many of you have heard of Think Mauritius and are following our activities, but do not know much about our history and Think Mauritius was set up in 2010 by a small group of people from government and private sector who used to work on various committees set up by government and used to discuss the problems facing the country. And on one fine day we thought, why don't we just talk? Why don't we do something about it? And that's when we set up Think Mauritius. We gathered some other people and started working systematically, analyzing our problems, looking for the causes of the problems, and seeking possible solutions. It took us 18 months to produce a paper, a sort of manifesto, in which we set out our analysis, our proposals, and presented this work at a press conference, following which we were invited by some newspapers and radio stations to talk on issues of national importance. Our interventions were well appreciated by the public, and we went on to produce several reports on, for example, the water problem, traffic condition, etc. The present paper on education is probably our most ambitious project. Our objective is not to present a sort of definitive proposal which we are going to defend. We rather want to stimulate discussion on the subject with the objective of ultimately reaching some measure of consensus on the main issues, as we believe that a system of education should be the subject of national consensus, resulting out of free exchanges among all the partners of education. And it cannot be a system that can change every time there is a change of government or a change of ministers. It is for this reason that we have invited former ministers of education and those heading the committees on education in their political parties, for in the final analysis, it is the politicians who will decide what type of system of education the country will have. It is therefore very gratifying to note that among those present today, there are quite a number of former ministers of education and persons responsible for education in their political parties. It shows the willingness of the political leadership to discuss openly and freely and share ideas on the question of education. If we are able today to share our views and try and reach consensus, at least on the main issues, I think it will be a long way towards a new way of running the affairs of the country. It will not mean that the political parties will lose their identity. It will mean that governments will be judged by their capacity to implement agreed programs. I will therefore invite you all to forget political differences, to discuss freely, having only in mind the welfare of the people and the prosperity of the country. Let us make it an enjoyable and useful experience. We are going to present the paper which we have produced. As you have seen, we have called it a discussion paper. It is for the purpose of discussion. After this presentation, then anybody who wants to share their views on the paper or on what they themselves think about the system will be able to do so. We'll have a number of sessions during which we will give more time for people to discuss, to exchange views, and try to come to conclusions. So I wish you all an enjoyable day, and we hope that we will be able to come to some useful results at the end of our discussion. Thank you.
If you want the country to move ahead. Well, what we're going to do, this is the document that we have produced. I think about 65 or 70 pages. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put all this in a nutshell in about 10 minutes. I'll try to. And after the presentation, we will ask you to react to the content of the book or to the presentation we will make. We will give priority. Today, we are really honored to have among us 1, 2, 3, 4 ex-ministers of education. Of course, they have their own experiences, and we would like them to share it with us and to let us know, because they've also gone probably through the document. We would like to have from them their feedback and how we can improve on this material. This is a discussion paper, and the discussion is going to take place today. So with the ideas that we're going to pick up from everybody here, we will try to make something better out of this discussion paper, which we'll probably publish in the month to come. Right? So without further ado, let me go very quickly through what we have in the booklet. Of course, the first thing is the importance of education. I know you all know how important it is. But just to remind you, just to recapitulate, that it is so important for the quality of the citizen, the family unit, the society, the elite, the economy, the manpower, and so on. You'll excuse me because I'm going to go quick, because I don't want to lose time. Time is very limited. They say time is money, but time is also knowledge. So I'll go very quickly. I'll apologize for this. Now, it's related to all the economic problems we are having. All the problems we are facing today can be linked back to education. And they are there. I won't lose time going through them. All our social problems, as you can see there, all of them are linked to our education system. All our political problems, even what is happening in our parliament, and you know what is happening, linked to our education system. And our environmental problems, whole series, all of them are linked to our education system. What are we doing in our schools to tackle all these problems? Big question mark. Maybe some of you will give us their impression later. Now, why change? We have already a system, so why change? The first reason is change because there are profound changes in the social, economic, and environmental context in the country. Not only in the country, in the region, but also in the world. And we have to change to adapt to those changes. Globalization. You know, because of globalization, we're going to have a battle of brain today among the countries, the Asian tigers. If you don't actually prepare our human brains properly, we're going to lose that battle. And we have new technologies which are coming on the market, AI and so on. We have to innovate, we have to attract investors. For all these reasons, we have to change. We cannot do as we've been doing for years. Knowledge explosion. Learning how to learn has become more important than learning something. How to access, how to select, how to retrieve information is more important than having information today. New insight in how the brain functions. Dr. Banwari is here. He will tell you the latest developments, the latest research that has shown how the brain functions, how students learn, how the brain develops. And here we have a few people from the pre-primary. They tell us how important it is. Probably we'll have time to talk about this later. It's really something very interesting. New pedagogical strategies. When here we are still doing cramming. So for all these reasons, we need change. Revolution in information technology, right? And if you don't use them today, if you tell students you leave your phone outside the classroom, I don't think we are making use of the latest technology. When in Singapore, it is one of the tools that students are using today in the classroom. Trade liberalization, we need to be more competitive. And we can't do that without a change in our education system. Climatic changes, new challenges. We need to have the capacity to adapt. Again, education, the education system. And the question is our education system responding to all these changes? I leave the question open for you to tell us later. And what we should do to make sure that our education system addresses all these changes. What type of citizen? Do we have an idea? What type of citizen we want to produce with that new education system that we are proposing? We need people who are independent and lifelong learners, not robots who learn and go and vomit in an exam. We need people who can live harmoniously in a multicultural society where there's no racism. We need people who can have a healthy lifestyle and a good nutrition. And we have a medical doctor here to help us with this. We need people who respect laws, who respect other citizens' rights, who respect the environment. We need people who are ready to work in teams and who have that patriotic sort of sense, patriotic flame in them, which is very absent in our people here. Capable of using new technologies, we see, capable to think out of the box, which we are not doing at school. capable to solve problems and to settle conflicts intelligently and effectively. Unfortunately, the way people settle conflicts, even in the Legislative Assembly, it's very worrying when I see this, but on the road, it's bound to settle their problem that they have with one another. Capable to combat fraud and corruption and pollution and not promote them. These are the type of citizens that we need. We need people who are ready to fight for justice, for equity, for democracy, meritocracy, and so on. Do we have people, are we producing people with all those qualities? Probably to a certain extent. I leave the question open again for you to reflect on this, and probably you'll give us your impression later. Now, we'll go very quickly into the shortcomings of the system. Of course, there's not only shortcomings, there are strengths also. But looking at the strength won't take us far. I've left it because of time. It's in there, the strength, especially infrastructural. But the shortcomings are very important because it's from there that we're going to develop our strategy for change. The first thing, the first shortcoming, we have an outdated curriculum today, which has been here for the past, I don't know, 10 or 20 years, which is not responding effectively to the challenges of the 21st century, the challenges we have seen earlier. We have a one-size-fits-all curriculum. Every child learns the same thing in the same way, sometimes rote learning, and with the same outcome because they go to take the same exam. The curriculum today is rather boring and out of tune with students' interests and students' expectations because they are outdated. The centralized management system, everything is decided at the level of the ministry. They want to, have control on everything. Very little autonomy to school, very little autonomy to teachers. We don't trust them, so they don't perform what they should. The system is diseased. And like all diseases, they have symptoms. What are the symptoms? Indiscipline, violence, absenteeism, drugs, drug abuse, dropout, early pregnancy, private tuition, poor life skills. And this is what we want to change. And our system is based on the mono intelligence model. When we know today that we have multiple intelligences that need to be addressed. The system is exam-driven. Instead of being driven by the curriculum, it's being driven by the exam. And this is the root of all the problems we are having in our education system. This explains why we have private tuition today. I think the figure that I've been told is around 4 billion rupees per year. Involved in private tuition, which actually promotes cramming and done at the expense of critical thinking, creative thinking, life skills, and other things. Very sad. Another shortcoming is the high level of elitism, and this leads to a very unhealthy competition. It's good for a little group of people, but very bad for a large majority of them. It's a waste of human resources. 30 to 40% of students leave school, actually, with poor basic literacy and numeracy skills and poor communication skills. That's a terrible waste of resources. The business of private tuition, which challenges equity and holistic education. Private tuition, those who have money can afford, those who can't, it's just too sad. The youth lack basic value to allow them to succeed in life. like discipline, effort, empathy, patriotism, emotional intelligence. All these are lacking in our education system today. And finally, parent education and involvement. Because parents have an incredibly important role to play in the education system. And unfortunately, at the moment, parents have a very bad notion of what education is all about. So there's a lot of education to be carried out in this. I'll finish very quickly. Teacher training. I've been in teacher training and I know the problem. You know, the MI trains teachers with the idea that when they go into schools, they'll change the system in schools and the whole system will change. Unfortunately, the system is so well rooted that when the teacher goes there, the system changes the teacher. So it's very sad. Absence of a national curriculum development and research center. Can you imagine? Curriculum should be the driving force. It should be the engine that drives the whole system. And yet, if you look at the budget, it's a few million rupees. Whereas exams are having hundreds of millions of rupees. Teacher training, hundreds of millions of rupees. And curriculum should have been the driving force. It's done by a little section at the MI. How come? Very difficult to explain how all this works. But in most countries, they have a proper curriculum development center, fully equipped with resources, human resources, financial resources, infrastructural resources, sorry. If you go to Singapore, the Prime Minister said, okay, you want a teacher training center? No, I'm talking about Korea, I got my point wrong here. But even in Singapore, they devote a lot of their resources in their National Curriculum Development Center. Now, we are spending 8 billion rupees in our education system. Cost effectiveness. Have there been any research to find out whether it is cost effective? Is it working? Is it giving the dividends that it should have been? And we see also that the changes that have been brought recently, 9-year schooling, reactive and piecemeal approach. This afternoon we'll be talking about curriculum development and you'll see how important it is if you are around. And the 4 pillars of education are out of tune. You know, let me explain very quickly. A system is made up of subsystems and all the subsystems have to work together to get the system to function properly. My body is a system, a biological system. The car is a mechanical system. But education system is a social and cultural system where all the parts should move in the same direction, like the 4 wheels of a car. The 4 pillars of education: curriculum, teacher training, assessment and evaluation or exams, and teacher training. Did I say teacher training? And then you have the management of school, but I will also add the parents. Can you imagine those 4 pillars? They hardly meet. There's no forum where they can meet and make sure that they are moving in the same direction. While MES is going in one direction, MI is going in the other direction. I go there, I know, I have to teach things which they were doing otherwise at the MES. So, unless we get those pillars to work together in coordination, I don't see how we're going to get our system of education to move ahead. And of course, they talk about holistic education, but I'll come to this later because, I will come to this. If you can understand this, most of you would, I'm sure. But this is the basis of most of the problems. What we see here, if you look at this column, it's about instruction that we are having in our schools in Mauritius. It's about knowledge, le savoir, la connaissance, knowledge. And here, it's simply information that we have in books that teachers provide. And it's based on a syllabus. It's done in the classroom. It's done through textbooks. It's done through passive learning, and very often spoon feeding and cramming. It's done with minimal, you don't need much. You need a room, a teacher, a whiteboard, and a few chalks. Easy to do. That's why minimal resources, short-term outcome. You teach today, you test tomorrow. I'll give you an example, very funny one. You tell students water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. They don't do it. They don't heat the water. They don't find out by themselves. You just tell them. And they learn it by heart. Water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. And tomorrow, or the day, at the end of the term, the question comes. At what temperature water boils? 100 degrees centigrade. Oh, they are genius. The same thing in Singapore, a teacher will never tell a student at what temperature water boils. The student will be given a beaker with a flame, with a thermometer. The student find out. You don't tell them. So, I'm sorry. This is the spoon feeding, the short-term outcome. It is easy to evaluate. You get the student to sit in a room, you give them a questionnaire, 1.5 hours, you collect the papers, very easy to evaluate through written exams. And this is what we are doing in PESA, in LC, in HSC. Same. Now, this is what we are doing in Mauritius because it's easy. Easy to do. It's a lazy man's job. But this is only instruction, it's not education. Now this is training, competences. How are you going to use your hands, your feet, your body, your mind? I call it formation. Here it's information, but here it's formation. It's done with practical. You have to do practical work to acquire it. It's like riding a bicycle. You can be taught how to ride the bicycle. But unless you hold the bicycle, you won't learn how to ride the bicycle. So this is practical. There are a list of competences which you have to achieve. And in an exam, you have to do it to show. You need tools. You need labs. You need workshops. You need learning by doing. It's a development of your dexterity. Logistics. You need logistics and expertise for this, and so on. And it has to be done through practical exam. Now this is a little bit more difficult. In some subjects they do it. In arts, in home economics, there are quite a few subjects in which they do a little bit of this, but even then they don't do it well because of lack of different resources that they have. So this is formation, and this one is transformation. It's about attitudes and behavior. This one, I don't know, I'll say almost zero. Why? Why? Because the teachers themselves, they haven't been transformed. And those who train the teacher themselves need transformation. So here, transformation is about how you change the way you think. How about you change the way you behave? How about you change the way you do things? It's a personal engagement. It demands much more time and much more resources and much more expertise. And this one is done not only in school, it is done at home, in society, through books and media, etc., logistic work. Extremely complex evaluation here. Sometimes the result comes after years, maybe after a decade, maybe after 2 decades, right? So this one is very difficult to evaluate, but at least it should be done. And how to do it here, you can use diaries, portfolios, projects. There's a list, a long list of how you can evaluate. And this is where you have the character, personality, values, entrepreneurial skills, team spirit, versatility, adaptability. And this is what we need in our education system. system today. If we maintain this, we are doomed. We are condemned. We're going to lag behind all the other countries in the world. Unless we come to this, I don't see any change happening. So I think I have tried to make a very brief resume of what's in the paper. Now I present to you, this is the last one. What we are proposing, an organic one which we are proposing, I finish with this one, where we have been thinking of the pre-primary here, 3 years and 4 years, and then we go to the primary, but we haven't given names, nothing like 9 year or whatever it is, because we don't think the names are important. It's the thinking behind and the theory that is important. And then from here, we move on to the lower secondary, which are going to call the N level, grade 9, grade 8, grade 7, here. And here already, students should be, we have to find out what is it that the student is interested in, so that here, when we come here, already in Form 4 and Form 5, they would know whether they're going to go in the academic stream or the technical or the digital stream. And then from there they go to the A level. Some of them, the academy, go to the A level. The others will go to the training and technical and vocational education and training, TVET. We need to have those institutions set up throughout the island to be able to take care of these students, because those who can't make it at the level of for here, they need to move on here. But we need to talk about, give more detail to this. And from here, as from 17 years, you can join the job market. Either after having completed your study at the technical and vocational education and training, or you can move on to the Polytechnic year 1, you get a certificate, then you go to job market, or you go to Polytechnic year 2, you get a diploma, you go to the job market, or you go to the Polytechnic year 3, and all this, you can leave and go to the job market and come back again if you want to complete. And then here, of course, once you've done your A level, you can join the job market, or you go to the university. There is something lacking here. There needs to be a connection here. After having completed the university, you can also go to the job market, or you go for further studies. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've given a brief expose. Now what we're going to do, we're going to invite you to comment on what we've said, but we're going to give priority to our distinguished invitees here today. We have the ministers, past ex-ministers of education. We'll ask them to kindly join us on the stage here. And each one of them will give us their impression.